Hi, welcome back to Wise Guys. This video is on algebraic fractions and its equivalent fractions and the third video on it. Okay, so we have two trinomials here, and what we have to do is factor both of them. So we start with our brackets. So for the top one, two brackets. We're going to see if we can factor this. 3x squared, so put a 3x here and an x here, which will give us our 3x squared. And then we look at this one, we see that we have a 2 here, so our options are 2 times 1, and we have to decide where we're going to put that. Now, this is a little tricky because we think, well, we could put it here. We know that 2 times x added to the 3x times the 1 will give us the 5x. We also could put it here, right? So the 2 could be here. The 2 would be multiplied by the 3x to give us the 6x and added or subtracted from the 1x. But frankly, it's really hard to know, but I'm going to put the 2 here, all right? And we'll just see what happens. So the 2 goes there, the 1 goes there. Now what we do is look at the sign. So we look at the sign in front of the last number. We see it's negative, so we look at this and we say the two signs have got to be different. Now we have to decide what goes where. We notice that it's a positive 5x, so that means that the sign in front of the 2, where we multiply here, should be the positive, right? So this would be our negative. And we can see what happens. We'll just check. So 3x times this gives us a 3x squared. This gives us the plus 6x. Here we end up with the minus x. And here we end up with the minus 2. And the plus 6x minus the x will give us the plus 5x. So this looks okay. Now in the denominator, we're going to factor this. So again, bracket, bracket, and another set of brackets. 7x squared, pretty easy. Let's just put a 7x here and an x here. 2 again, pretty simple. It's a 2 and a 1. But where do we put the 2 and the 1? If we put the 2 here and the 1 here, this multiplies and gives us the 14, which brings us very close to our 13. If we put the 2 here, the 2x and the 7 would only add up to the 9. So I'm thinking the 2 goes here. So put the 2 here and the 1 here. Now we have to decide about the signs. Negative in front of the 2, so these two signs are different, but a positive 13. So 7 times x, we end up with, and my phone's ringing, I'm sorry about that, 7 times x here, so we want that to be positive, so that gives us a better chance of getting our positive 13. So I'm thinking the positive goes here and the negative goes here. And again, we can just sort of take a look at it. 7x squared plus 14x minus x, which gives us this, and then minus 2. So I think this is good. Now we reduce if we can. So we see we have x plus 2 divided by x plus 2. So these two basically can cancel, right? And in the end, we're left with 3x minus 1 divided by 7x minus 1. And that would be the answer. All right, so next question. Now, sometimes you sort of have to stop and look and think, well, what am I looking at here? We can see on the top, we're looking at the difference of cubes. We can pull the 3 out, so we can factor out the 3. That would be the first step. So pull out the 3, and we're left with x cubed plus y cubed. And on the bottom, you can see that we can pull out the 6 here. So let's pull out the 6, and we're left with x plus y. All right. Now these two can be reduced. So they're both divisible by 3, so this becomes a 1, and this becomes a 2. All right. So now we have x cubed plus y cubed divided by 2 times x plus y. Now, when we factor this, and it helps to have that information handy, when we're factoring x cubed plus y cubed, the first factor is x plus y, and the second one is x squared, I don't think I'm going to have room here, minus xy plus y squared. Okay, so that's normally how you factor these two. So that's what we're going to do on the top. So we end up with x plus y times x squared, oh, that's wrong, minus xy plus y squared. That's the importance of slowing down and not going too fast. Right? And in the denominator, we have our 2 times the x plus y. So we can see here that our x plus y's cancel, and we're left with an answer of x squared minus xy plus y squared divided by 2. And that would be your answer. All right, last question. So here again we have one of the cubed equations. So L cubed minus something cubed, and in this case it's 3 cubed, right? So here we have L cubed minus 3 cubed. And in the bottom we have something that is, I'm assuming, factorable. All right, so let's try it. Start with our brackets. Here, fortunately, it's just an L and an L. Now we want 12, so the options are 3 times 4, 6 times 2, 12 times 1. But we know that when these numbers are added or subtracted, they have to equal the 1. So then it seems to me that what we should be using is the 3 and the 4. So I'm just going to put the 3 here and the 4 here. So L, now we have to decide on the sign. So we see we have a minus 12 here. That tells you that the signs are different. But we can see that the L here, which is the addition of the 4L and the 3L, that's a positive. So then that tells me that the plus probably goes here and the minus probably goes there. All right. So now what we have to do is factor this difference of cubes. And when we factor it, we follow the rules for the difference of cubes. And if you're not sure about that, just check out the video on the difference of cubes. And we have L, so when we factor the top, we have L minus 3 times L squared plus 3L plus, and then it's 3 squared, which is 9. All right. And this is all divided by L minus 3 times L plus 4. You can see that the L minus 3's cancel, and we're left with L squared plus 3L plus 9 divided by L plus 4. There we go. And that would be the answer. Okay? So that video has been brought to you by Wise Guys. I hope you have a great day. Take care.